So, Lucy, tell us a little bit about what you're doing now and how you use your skills to support both educators and families.
Yeah, so people always say, oh, you shouldn't say that you work with everyone, but I do. I work with everyone. I mean, everyone deserves a little bit more intentionality in life. Everyone deserves to simplify their spaces a lot more. And one of the biggest things that I do to support people, so it can be families, it can be individuals, it can be educators. Don't say anyone, but it is anyone, okay? One of the things that I love doing, and that is also part of the whole Montessori triad, is to work in the prepared environment. So I want to make sure that first and foremost, the space is working for them. And by space, I mean any physical environment. It can be your work, it can be your workplace, it can be your home, it can be your school, it can be a community space, it can be a radio station, right? Which is what I'm currently doing. I'm currently working on revamping an entire radio station. It starts with the physical space, but that's not where it ends. But that's where changes start to be a bit more visible, actually, a lot more visible. By simplifying the space, we get to change our behavior because we're less stressed. There's less sensory overload. There's less visual clutter. There's less chaos in general because now all of a sudden you can find the things you were looking for. The spaces are hopefully right. If you want to upkeep, they're cleaner, they're more pleasant for you to be around, and you only keep the things that really matter to you. And I think that this is key. And this is a lesson that I learned kind of the hard way because when I had to move here to the UK, well, obviously it was a choice, but when we moved here to the UK, I only had a large 32-kilo suitcase and a cabin suitcase to pack my whole life. So I had to be extremely intentional about the things that I wanted to bring with me. And that's when I learned about the importance of decluttering and having fewer belongings and just having the ones that really matter to you. And that's been a game changer.
Wow. Okay, so I'd really like to dig into this because when I had an office in school, it was quite busy, shall we say, and probably some people would say a little bit, looked a bit disorganized, but I knew where everything was. And at home
Okay, that's
around
good.
me, I know where things are, but it's probably not what you would want. What would you do if you came into my workspace, my home space? How would you start? What questions would you ask?
The first question I would ask is what's bothering you the most? What's annoying you the most? And that's where we were going to start because we need to create change where it kind of like triggers something in a person because then they're more encouraged to work on it and to change it. And once that area has been worked on, and now they can see the difference because they said like that used to be a stressor for me every single day and now it's not, then they just feel the difference. And now they feel encouraged to work in other spaces as well and to just perfect that process that we've been working on. And it's not a one and done thing. And it's not something that happens in a day. It's a process and it's worth every second of it.
What sort of answers to questions do you get from really busy? I'm just thinking of most of the people who are listening to this, they're executive heads, they're head teachers, they're
Yeah.
nursery owners, they're managers, they're leaders, and there's plenty of other people listening, but they're all busy. I mean, I spoke to a nursery practitioner this morning who went in at 7:30 yesterday and got home at 6:30 because she left at 6. I mean, we're talking people working long days
Yeah.
here. What are they saying about what bothers them about their spaces?
Well, if it's in their homes, I would say it's usually laundry that piles up. If they have kids, it's usually getting out the door in the morning. So morning routines for sure. And just not being able to find the things that they're looking for on a daily basis, like the car keys or the clothes that they want to wear, but they have no idea what they are. And it's funny because I want to say in almost every session, Rowena, whenever I'm working with a client, because I never work like for a whole session by myself because I always need the person's input as well. So whenever I'm with the client, there's usually the one sentence that they say. It's, I've been looking all over for it.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Of course. And what
Yeah.
about at work? What's the
So
feedback you get at work?
at work, they feel that they're not being productive. They feel that the systems are a bit clunky and it's not streamlined enough. So they go like, I feel like I'm wasting my time. I feel like there's something here that doesn't feel right, but I can't really pinpoint what's happening. Or I do look, because I bring the Montessori approach into my business, I try to observe as well. And I try to just be there, kind of like a fly on the wall, just understanding the space and understanding how they operate around the space. And then I always find something that is not working and that has potential to work. But it's almost like I can find those bumps on the road. And then by identifying them, it's much easier for us to adjust course and to change things. And again, it works. I'll tell you what, rule number one for people to work with me, Rowena, they have to be open-minded. They have to be ready to maybe change something that they're doing or to learn something different, or else it just doesn't work. So it's always like being open to feedback. And as you know me, I would never be harsh to someone. I would never be judgmental. I'm there to help. I'm there to help, and I love it.
Yeah.
And yeah, and usually like when I work with clients, they're really happy with me, bless them, because they just feel comfortable. And we usually have like a really good relationship.
Thanks for listening. I hope you took something of value from today. If you want to connect, I'm at rowenahicks.com, or I have a Facebook group, which is Preventing Teacher Burnout. So I look forward to connecting to you at one of those.